Football Friday. Big Silz, how you doing, all? Welcome aboard. Did you see my boy last night, Party Bird? How you doing, man? 49ers playing the best ball of any team in the NFC over the last month. Way to go, Party Bird. Wow. Man, that Niners defense is one of the better defenses I've seen in the NFL in a long time. That is how you get after folks. That's how you get after people, man. Nick Bosa, what a beast. That linebacking core, and people keep saying that secondary of the Niners isn't really up to snuff like the Eagles. I don't think so. They got a bunch of good dudes back there, man. Again, welcome aboard here. Please hit the like button. Wow. So Chris Simms now starts echoing what Big Silz has been saying. And I'll expand on it here in a minute. Because when I say this to you, the national people look at Jalen Hurts and your Eagle team and your 12-1 record and go, what a great year. That team is really having a wonderful season. They're really playing good ball. Well, what about Jalen? Man, you put Gardner Minshew in there, they'd have the same record. What? Gardner Minshew and Jalen Hurts are the same guy, according to Chris Simms. Okay. We'll hit on that here in a minute. But how about this? If Jalen Hurts was in Chicago today and Justin Fields and him were to change uniforms, Justin Fields and Jalen Hurts are the same guy. Jalen Hurts would be Justin Fields. Dual threat. Dual threat needs a good O-line. Do you know the simplest offense to run? In football history, it's called the veer. RPO is based off the veer offense. And that's what you have to have with dual threat. What point are you making, Keon? Chris Simms' point is, well, he's got the best of everything around him. It actually was Micah Parsons' point this week. Justin Fields has nothing up there. I can't name you a wideout. Their running game is the only thing that keeps them in games. How could you have the number one offense when it comes to running the ball and the shittiest defense in the league? Chicago's in tatters, man, when it comes to building a football team. They're 5 years away. You get the worst defense in the league. Wow. Gardner Minshew would have the same numbers and record that Jalen Hurts has put up this year. Wow. I got to tell you, man, pretty stunning. That's not even Sileo saying it. That's not even Sileo saying it, man. Wow. This guy's basically calling Jalen Hurts a dude. Tyrod Taylor. One of them guys. Teddy Bridgewater. Is Jalen better than Teddy Bridgewater? Not in Simms' eyes. Damn, man, I don't know. If Jalen Hurts and Justin Fields were to change uniforms, would Jalen Hurts be putting up the same numbers that Fields has put up in Chicago this year? His passing numbers are terrible. Yeah, he would. That's the difference between a guy like Jalen Hurts and a guy like Josh Allen. And you guys keep saying, well, what if you took Stephon Diggs away? Dude, that's all he has. You got a 1,400-yard back, 2 wideouts, a tight end that's considered one of the best and the best O-line. You start ripping which you will start ripping your team apart because you'll start paying the guy $46 million, which would be a massive mistake. If you look at, again, I'm going to get into Bears and Eagles here in a minute. But watch this. If you ask anybody with a common sense about them, and I hear people what they're saying, quite frankly, I'll make this point to you. Somebody says that when you make a point like this, you're not doing your homework. Well, let me make a point to you. When you go the other way, you're a homer. Nobody in their right mind would pay Jalen Hurts over Patrick Mahomes. Nobody in their right mind would pay Josh Allen less than Jalen Hurts. Nobody in their right mind is going to pay Jalen Hurts over Justin Fields, and nobody in their right mind is ever going to pay Jalen Hurts more than Patrick Mahomes. Facts. Those guys can have components taken away from their offense and still put up numbers. Patrick Mahomes. You take some of the, let me just show you what your team's going to look like with a dual threat. When you start taking your team apart, you'll look like the Bears. Dual threat. There's some homework for you. Dual threat. Hey, Silz, who do you want to pay $50 million to? Joe Burrow or Jalen Hurts? You're not really putting that out there, are you? I've been kind of kidding about it the last couple days, but nobody in their right-minded. Like I said, it's like buying a Nissan with the same sticker price as a Ferrari. Jalen Hurts is a Nissan compared to Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes and Joe Burrow. But hey, let's put it in order here. So are you saying that Jalen Hurts, though, was a top 10 quarterback, Silz? Yeah. Are you saying, Silz, that the Eagles will probably still have to pay him $45 million like Arizona did with Kyler Murray? Yeah. You're just going to have Michael Vick. Congratulations, Philly. You got Michael Vick. If you're okay with Michael Vick, good luck. Philadelphia, when they signed Justin Fields, when they signed Jalen Hurts to this supposed contract that's going to be $45 million, you get 2.0 Michael Vick. If you're okay with that, more power to you. You ain't signing Josh Allen. He's nowhere near that guy. Well, look at the turnovers, Dan. I did. And they still win. And they're still the favorites to win the AFC. What's your point? You keep telling me not to use stat Silz when you look at Jalen Hurts. Stop looking at turnovers then to compare your guy to a guy you know who's inferior. Now, here's the other part of this argument, though. Silz, do you think Hurts has improved? Absolutely. Do you think he's put himself in the conversation as one of the top 15 quarterbacks in the league? Top 15? I'd put him right there at 10. Do you think he's had the best season of any quarterback in the NFC? Yes. Would you want him, of the quarterbacks that are in the league, to build your team around? Never. Baltimore's doing that right now with Lamar Jackson. You want to hear something? I think Baltimore's going to punt on Lamar. Let me ask you something about Lamar Jackson. Do you think his investment has panned out this year and his gamble has paid off this year? Do you think it's paid off or he didn't sign that $250 million contract? Do you think his gamble has paid off? If anything, Baltimore comes in with lesser money now and lesser guarantees. And if he doesn't take it, I say they punt on him. I say they punt. Dual threat. We draft another quarterback? Absolutely. I think you guys are missing my point. Just because I'm saying Jalen's not Josh Allen or Joe Burrow, I think you got a winner. You're missing it. You're missing it. Hey, man, nobody in their right mind would ever look at somebody and do this. Hey, I'll tell you what, man. Here, let me get all of Q and keep paid. We draft another quarterback. What do we do then, Silz? In all seriousness, our window is now not in 5 years. Completely true. Your window will be shut closer. Or excuse me, your window will be shut even quicker if you pay the guy. Your window will be shut like it was with Wentz. It's funny, every time I talk to people in Philadelphia on how sold they were on Carson Wentz and all cool with the organization and giving him $32 million, you guys have the same passion today that you did for Wentz then. You thought the organization was right. How do you know you're right this time with a guy who's dual threat and dual threat don't win? And it doesn't win in this league. How do you know that? There's no precedent for it. And there's a small sample size. This is a small sample size. And you want to be Arizona and pay a guy $46 million? I completely subscribe to what Chris is trying to say. Kid's improved. He really has. He disagrees also with Micah Parsons and Jalen not being a major instrument in the 12-1 record, which I also do subscribe to. You don't win games like, and by the way, Gardner Minshew, and I disagree with Chris. I think they're still a playoff team with Gardner Minshew, but they're not 12-1. And I don't know if you would still be the favorite. You'd probably still be one of the favorites to win the NFC. Your football team, if they had Gardner Minshew, you'd be the 49ers. How don't you see that? God forbid Jalen got hurt and Gardner Minshew win. Wouldn't the Eagles be Brock Purdy and the 49ers? Wouldn't they be the same? The Niners and the Eagles, I told you at the beginning of the year, were built for what? A catastrophic injury to the quarterback. They're built for it. Why? They run the ball. San Francisco last night didn't win the game throwing the ball around the yard. They don't have to. Protect it, run it, defend it. I mean, you know why the Eagles are better than the Niners in reality? You know why they're better? Because their quarterback's playing better. The 49ers are like musical chairs at the quarterback position. They're still the second best team in the conference. I hate to have to show you and tell you reality here. Chris Simms is not wrong. You would never pay Jalen Hurts over any of those other four guys. You would never. When it comes to building your team. You know why? Because when they start paying those guys, you think that Justin Herbert is going to have both Mike Williams and Keenan Allen as wide receivers and Austin Eckler in the backfield? Absolutely not. Jesus, criminy. Okay? I'm telling you how the league works. I'm not acting like some homer here. If you just don't see how the guy, of course everyone sees it. It doesn't matter. Well, it's not right. No shit. No shit. Larry goes, this guy's ridiculous. What's the most ridiculous thing I said? That you would pay $50 million for Jalen Hurts over Josh Allen or Joe Burrow? You talk about being a dumbass. You can't get any dumber than that. You can't be any dumber. Dumber. Ridiculously dumb. Watch this. Would you pay Lamar Jackson $50 million over Joe Burrow? Never in a million years. Lamar Jackson's gamble has not panned out. Why is that? Dual threat. Don't ever pay a dual threat quarterback that kind of money. Arizona just found out on Monday night why. Baltimore's finding out now why. Who's starting this weekend? Tyler Huntley again? Is this the third straight year that Tyler Huntley's finishing up the season for Baltimore? Why in the world would I pay Lamar Jackson $250 million when he can't finish the year? Dual threat. Steve Young. Yeah, okay. Steve Young. You're right. Steve Young led the NFL in completion percentage 5 years in a row. Relax, guy. Adam, it's not a slam on Jalen. It's an indictment on how the position is played with dual threat. You see, you know why you pay those other quarterbacks $50 million? You may lose Tyreek Hill. You may lose a running back. Why do you think Russell Wilson is in shambles as a player right now? Dual threat. Those guys fall off the map. Dual threat. It's the dual threat era. Since when? Matthew Stafford won the Super Bowl. Brady won the Super Bowl. I mean, if you count Nick Foles catching the Philly special in the end zone, dual threat, have at it. Dual threat. You don't pay them guys. You don't. Precedent, history. And you see Arthur putting 12-1? Arthur, that's exactly what Michael Parsons is saying. Jalen's a product of that. Not the reason for that. And by the way, when you have the best wide receiver in duo and the best O-line and the best running game and the best tight end, shouldn't you be 12-1? You're putting backslaps on something. And when you take on teams that have the worst defenses, do you know the Eagles this year? I looked at it. Of the 13 games they've played, 10 of them have been the worst defenses in the league. There's another one, too. What is it, 31 or 32? I don't know. They're down there, the Bears. It's like the worst. Dual threat. I'll take Jalen. Here, I'll make this point to you. And this is probably what people in Philly are seeing. Is Jalen having a better season than Mahomes? I think it depends on how you look at it through the lens. Is he having a better year than Josh Allen? Probably. Don't make him a better player. And how do you know that this ain't a one-year wonder? Didn't that ever cross your mind? How do you know this isn't just a fluke? He hasn't done it. He's done it for 13 games. How do you know it's not a fluke? How do you know? Answer this to me. How do you know this isn't a fluke? I saw Tyrod Taylor make a Pro Bowl in Buffalo. I saw Teddy Bridgewater make a Pro Bowl in Minnesota. How do you know this ain't a fluke? Wait a minute. Carson Wentz was a fluke. Carson Wentz was a fluke. The Philly fluke. The Philly fluke is Wentz. Is this the Philly fluke 2.0? How do you know? Before you answer that, you can't. The Philly fluke. Is that Jalen Hurts? How could you say that with such disrespect? It's not disrespect. This is a business, my friends. Don't take it personal. It's strictly business. No one has ever on this program said anything personally about Jalen Hurts. the man. This is about business, which you failed on before in the past with Wentz. And now you think you have it again 4 years later. This is classic. This is so good. This is so epic. This is my favorite time in my life talking sports because usually I come off the, reservation a little bit, but I've got so many facts with this. I'll be right in the end. I always am. Dual threat. Dual threat. I don't want a dual threat. I want a dude that wings it down the field, baby. And if I've got an old lineman I can't re-sign or a wideout, I want him winging it down the field and winning games like my boy in Buffalo. I love it. And look at Purdy Bird, too. Look at the 49ers. They're like the Eagles. No matter who quarterbacks, they're still great. Yeah. Isn't it crazy, though? The two best teams in the NFL can lose their quarterbacks, and they'd still be good. Hurts consistency game says it's not a fluke. For 13 games? Anton, he has been consistent in those 13 games, to your point, and to be fair. Okay? Anton, to your point, he has been the most consistent guy all year. 13 games. He stunk last year. Stunk. Eagles were 27th in passing last year. Number 1 in running. He was a caboose last year. He's not this year. I disagree with Micah. Last year, he was the caboose. They carried him to the playoffs. And when he got into playoffs, he looked, in over his head. Sorry, but really. 12-1, baby. Hell of a team record. I agree. Hell of a team record. Way to go, team. Not Hurts, but team, Way to go, team. Let Josh Allen, before talking smack on Hurts, well, he's right on schedule. They paid him, and he's the number 1 seed. He is on schedule. Can't talk any shit on Josh Allen at all. He's going to get the bye. They'll have home field advantage in Buffalo. I don't know. I think the Bills are going to win the Super Bowl. That's what you pay him $43 million. How you doing? Hey, man. Dude, can you imagine Big Silz in March picking Bills and Eagles to go to the Super Bowl, and Allen wins the Super Bowl, and then you get your dual threat dude because you'd have 2 of them in the game. Then maybe that does break the glass ceiling. Yeah. Hey, how about this one? What's his name goes like this? Wait, does Allen have any rings? Bro, honest to God, when you watch Josh Allen play and you look at Jalen Hurts, you think Jalen Hurts is better? There's really no convincing you then. And I'm not going to have that argument with you because it's a ridiculous argument. Okay? It's ridiculous. It's like when you watch Big Ben and you watch Aaron Rodgers play. Big Ben's got more Super Bowl wins. But do you actually think Big Ben is a better player than Aaron Rodgers? He's not. He's not a better player. When you watch Peyton Manning play and you watch Brady play, you don't really look at it and go, well, Manning's a better player. He's not. And by the way, there's another example. So Tom Brady never had a first-round draft choice in his offensive huddle in his entire career in New England. Manning had Edgerrin James, Marshall Faulk, Marvin Harrison, Reggie Wayne, Dallas Clark, and an O-line intact for 10 years. He underachieved in Indianapolis. got one Super Bowl. Really? Him and Tony Dungy, one Super Bowl. Well, it was in the Brady era. I know Big Ben's got two. Eli's got two at one place. Hurts over Allen. Bro, good luck to you. I would never pay that. So if you take the running game away from Jalen Hurts, okay? You take the running game and the tight end and the other wide out away, and you have A.J. Brown. You think they're 12-1. Holy shit. Oh, we're going to find out soon enough, though. We'll find out real quick. Oh, yeah. Top 5 Eagle prospects in the upcoming NFL draft. Dave Wannstedt in hour 3, part of the Bears broadcast team and former Chicago Bear himself. Randy Moss wasn't drafted by the Patriots, ding dong. They picked him up for a 6th rounder with the Raiders. And the Patriots sent some stiff DB from Syracuse to the Raiders. There's not one player offensively that Tom Brady played with, skilled-wise, when they won a Super Bowl. Welker was cut by the Chargers. It was a special teams, dude. Edelman was a quarterback in college. Amendola, I don't know what he was. My projections on who I think makes the playoffs in the NFC. By the way, Gronk Hernandez. Hernandez was a 4th rounder, jackass. And Gronk was a 2nd rounder. Sony Michel, I believe, is the only guy in 21 years. I think Sony Michel, the kid from Georgia, is the only guy, that running back. I do think Sony Michel got a Super Bowl. Sony Michel in 21 years, the only skilled offensive player in New England. I got something for you. I want to throw this at you, too, on why the Eagles are where they are. Watch this. I got the offensive paychecks for the Eagles here. Watch this. I'll tell you, with incentives, okay? With incentives, the number 1 player in New England, the number 1 player in paycheck in Philadelphia, A.J. Brown, $25 million. Number 2, I'll tell you what, I told you guys, man, the left tackles get more, and they do get more. But Lane Johnson making $18 million is pretty healthy. Good for him, man. He's the 2nd highest paid guy in the offensive huddle. Number 3, Jordan Mailata at $16 million is number 4. Number 3. Dallas Goedert at $14.2 is 4th. Jason Kelce is 5th. So wait a minute here. So far in the top 5. So far in the top 5 players. 1, 2, 3 are O-linemen. Keep that in mind. Lane Johnson is 2. Mailata's 3. Goddard's 4. And Kelsey's 5. 3 in the top 5 are O-linemen. And you're blocking tight end. So it's kind of like 3.5 to 4 out of 5. Okay. 6 is Isaac Seumalo at 5.3. So out of your top 6 players, 5 of your guys are your O-linemen. The richest part of the Eagles are the O-line. Someone goes, what's your point? I'll get to it. Number 7, Devonta Smith. Signing bonuses and all, he gets $5 million. Where the hell is Hurts? Here's your backup tackle. Is 8th. Andre Dillard. So hang on for a minute here. I'm already down to 8. You know, there's only 11 guys. A.J. Brown, Lane Johnson, Jordan Mailata, there's 3. Dallas Goedert's 4. Jason Kelsey's 5. Isaac Seumalo's 6. Devonta Smith is 7th. Andre Dillard's 8. Surely Hurts is 9th. No, that's Landon Dickerson at 2.1. There's only 2 more spots left. Oh, there's Hurts. 1.5 million. He's 10th. And then Sanders is 11th at 1.3. Your quarterback at 1.5 million. Dude, those old linemen will not be on the team. You will not be paying that kind of money with a $50 million guy. You're out of your tree. The highest paid position in Philly's the O-line. Why? Because the quarterback makes nothing. Makes less than Zach Pascal. You don't have a window of 5 years to win a Super Bowl. You got a 1-year window with an extension. This thing will be shorter than that stint you had in 17. 16 free agents, and your quarterback is making 1.5, and your O-line. Look at the money they spend in the O-line. Shit, the 2 tackles make $45 million. Where in the NFL do you see that? Where the average is $8 million going across the board with a $50 million quarterback. Show me. And a $25 million wideout. Oh, man. Oh, man. Did we talk about this last month? Hassan wants to know. Yeah. Especially when you start talking about paying Joe Burrow less than Jalen Hurts. Dual threat. All right. Let's move off that. I kind of agree with Chris Simms, but not totally. The guys he mentioned, you never. But, again, to the point of Jalen Hurts, Jalen's improved so much. It's a cool. I'll tell you this. Hurts has to win the most improved player in the NFL. He has to win that award. You know, he may not win the MVP, but he's got to be the most improved player in the NFL. Kudos. Congratulations to you. You win the little kitty award. Here's the little kitty award. You know the guy that is like, you know, he's the last dude picked on a pickup team. And here's the guy here for the most improved. You know, you always give that award to some stiff dude, but he's not. He has really improved. He's really improved. All right. Eagles and Bears on Sunday. Get ready, man. This game will be over. Don't sit down and invite a lot of people over for this game. This game could break all NFL records for the least time ever televising a football game. Because there's going to be 72 runs in this game. Supposedly it's going to be windy. Yeah, go figure. It's Chicago, right? It's Chicago in December, too. Go figure. This thing, seriously, it's going to be like Bowling Green versus Northwestern. MAC, Mid-American Conference versus the Big Ten. The Falcons versus the Wildcats. I think that's what Northwestern is. I don't really care. Northwestern doesn't build teams. They build debate teams and nuclear bombs. Who cares, really? 18 people show up to the game. Anyway, there'll be a lot of running in this game. 2 dual threat dudes. Holy cow. How many passes, Silz, are you expecting from Justin Fields? 4. How many passes are you expecting from Jalen Hurts? 10. 2 dual threat guys be going after one another on Sunday. Hey, it'll make a quick game. It'll make for a quick game, though, so don't worry. You'll be 13-1. Hey, by the way, man, I want the Cowboys and the Eagles to both win. You kidding me? I want the build-up for this bad puppy next week like you've never seen. I would never in a million years want anything to damage that. I don't want one team limping in. I want everybody at their best. Because this is the only way Jalen Hurts is going to win the MVP award. Don't wish for Dallas to lose that Jags game. If you want your boy to really have a true consideration for the MVP award, how many times all these Philly guys keep talking about how well he's played? You got a guy like Simms who actually has an MVP vote too, who's not going to even remotely go near Jalen Hurts on the MVP. Tell you what, he puts up 5 touchdowns against the Cowboys at Christmas Eve, and he throws for 375 yards in Dallas. Jalen Hurts is going to win the Most Valuable Player award. That's a fact. I'll vote for him. Because you know why? Christmas Eve is going to be the biggest stage of the year outside of the Super Bowl. Why would you want to dent that? Why would you want to deter that? Let the kid this is the kid's chance. Patrick Mahomes had a national stage on Monday Night Football against the Rams 4 years ago. It was a coming out party. Everybody kept going, wow, this guy Mahomes, he's really good. I hear a lot about him. They got in that shootout. Everyone left that game that night. What were we doing? Holy shit. And now when Mahomes throws these underarm passes, now everybody's like this. Hey, man, see that every week now. Now we gauge him on postseason. Do you understand you're still gauging Jalen Hurts on regular season shit? Keep putting 12-1 up. Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, they're gauged on postseason play, not Jalen. Every time you guys put that stupid record up, you're talking about regular season. Josh Allen and Mahomes and those other guys have graduated from regular season. So if Patrick Mahomes is undefeated during the regular season, he gets beat in the postseason, you know what they're going to say about him? He shit the bed in the postseason. He's not Brady. Great regular season. Your guy's doing a really nice job in the regular season. Really great job in the regular season. Unbelievable job in the regular season. Look at the record. It's awesome. All the regular season accolades. Well, I don't talk about Joe Burrow or Josh Allen about regular season shit. And nor do anybody else. They talk about postseason. If that was the case, Aaron Rodgers would be the greatest quarterback in the history of the National Football League. Nobody cares about regular season shit. But you keep talking about regular season. That's why he's nowhere near the conversation with a lot of people in the MVP. Not happening. When you start talking about Jalen Hurts postseason, that's when he's graduated. Every show, radios, what I do, talks about the regular season he's having. Shit, man, the guy in Minnesota's had spectacular seasons in the regular season. Spectacular. Hey, what about Herbert? Absolutely. Dude's got to win games. He's putting up Justin Herbert has put up iconic numbers next to Dan Marino and Mahomes. It's about time you start winning some games, kid, and some significant games. I agree 100%, but that's a talent. Hey, you see Jalen's season? Yeah, I don't care about the regular season. When it comes to MVP conversation, I don't care. Are you a postseason machine? Do you step up in the postseason? Do you win games? That's why that Kyler Murray guy and that contract, you're going to pay a guy on regular season accomplishments, you'll always fail. You'll always fail. You know the one thing they'll always say this about Jimmy Garoppolo? Jimmy Garoppolo's contract is not bad. $25 million for 45 and 19. No one's going to complain about the money he's making. That guy's under market value big time. However, no one complains about that. Kyler Murray, $46 million. You'll get your GM and your head coach fired. GM's now taking a relief because of stress. You think? $46.1 million of the Bidwell money? Hey, you might need a rest. MVP is a regular season award. That's not how the voters do it, though. That's why the voters look at, and I agree with D. Gunn on this one, popularity and legacy. The MVP is about, hey, this is what they're saying about Aaron Rodgers now, and he's won a Super Bowl and a Super Bowl MVP. That was over 10 years ago, guy. What have you done for me lately? Well, I've only won 2 MVPs in a row, and I'm the 4-time MVP in the NFL. I actually got more MVP awards than Tom Brady. Yeah, but have you seen your postseason record? You're 13-12. Don't you want your guy being gauged on postseason play instead of regular season play? Oh, wait, you're not there yet. That's why. He's coming along. Kid's getting better. Kid's getting better. Kid's getting better. Look at Shakur. 12-1 or 10-3. Home field advantage. Home field advantage. That's what I want. Home field advantage. Hurts will win Super Bowls. Good luck. This is what I see happening in this game. This will be a Miles Sanders ball game. I could see Miles Sanders going for 145 in this ball game against Chicago. Why would you throw it? There's no reason to throw it and have the opportunity of it being so windy, tip passes, high percentage plays. Run the hell out of the football, man. You're going to blow that team out. They can't defend the run. So wait a minute. The best or the second best rushing attack in the NFL, the Eagles, versus the worst rushing defense in the NFL. What are you doing? Why in the world? And Xander said something to me at the beginning of the show. He goes, hey, they may want to try to get Smitty out. Bro, it's about winning this game and playing in Dallas. I want Devonta Smith to show up in Dallas, not in Chicago. Okay? The reason that football team is 12-1 is because of not that kind of thinking. Let me get the touches here to this. Dude, get the hell out of town in Chicago. Then you got all week to prepare for the Cowboys. I need Devonta Smith in that Cowboy game. I don't need him in the Bear game against the number one worst rush defense in the league. Why would I need Devonta? Why would I need AJ? I need Miles Sanders, the second most important player in the huddle. Second most important player in the huddle. Okay? Fields is a passer. Look at the numbers. They're atrocious. Now, I think it's got a lot to do with the talent around him, but he's atrocious. You couldn't have any more differences when it comes to the defenses, too. The Bears have the worst defense in the league. The Eagles have one of the top 5 defenses in the league. I think this is going to be a field day. That's why you're not going to see a lot of passing attempts from Chicago. They're going to try to keep it in 3rd and long, and they're going to try to run the ball as much as they can. And guess who's going to have to be the catalyst in this? Dual threat. Dual threat. Silz, you think A.J. Brown can burn Diggs? I think, Jesse, A.J. Brown, why would he have to burn him? How about run him over? I think that kid Diggs in Dallas, I think he's overrated. He gambles too much, and I'd have him more on a leash in my defensive structure than what he does with Dan Quinn. I think he gambles too much, and I think he gets beat a lot. I'm not a fan of Diggs. Actually, I think Bradbury's better. Slay's by far better. I look at Diggs and I too many gambles. Way too many gambles, dude. I don't see it. You can have, hey, watch this. You can have Diggs in Dallas. I'll take Bradbury. I'm pretty good with that. Did you see Undisputed previewing Eagles Cowboys this morning? Imagine that. That's not even Anton until next week. I hope the Cowboys get punished for overlooking the Jags all week. Anton, hey, by the way, you see everybody in Philly not reporting that the Eagles have signed a former Dallas Cowboy to the practice squad? Oh, gee, I wonder why. Philly's thinking of Dallas too now. You see that? They signed a guy to the practice squad. They just signed a D lineman to the practice squad. Why is that? Because they want to know what Dan Quinn's doing over there. Pretty smart. You know that Howie, when he called that dude, okay? Yeah. 31-14. 31-14. Eagles over the Bears. I don't see it. You know what, too? Watch this. Here's something I want to throw at you here. That's right, Maniac. How about this? Watch this. Who do you think has a bigger chance of having a distraction when you have the Dallas Cowboys versus the Eagles? The Eagles have no way. No way. There is no way they will be distracted. Cowboys are trying to distract them. Owner's trying. Micah Parsons is trying. Chris Simms is trying. It won't work on Philly. It'll work on Dallas. They're always distracted. Always distracted, especially this time of the year. Dude, it's like death and taxes with Dallas. Watch this. Got to pay your taxes? We'll all die one day, and the Cowboys shit the bed in December. Am I wrong? Right? Am I wrong? 31-14. They're going to kill this Bears team. Everyone's like, hey, look out for the Bears. They're number one in running. They are. You know, you're going to have lane integrity when you make your tackles, and you're going to have to be a lot better, okay? When it comes to tackling, getting guys on the ground. Come on, man. This team sucks. They got 3 wins. Okay? Come on, man. Let me get back to this one point there with Chris Simms. Chris Simms makes the comment. It's an analyst. Micah Parsons, though, has written checks all week long that he has to cash. Hey, dude, let me say this to you, because I know you watch the show too. You respond on my Twitter page all the time. Hoss, you've written checks this week that every guy in that Cowboy locker room and front office are going to be looking at. And if you pull one of them New York Giant games where you went into the Meadowlands and you were a no-show, or when you got your face kicked in by Lane Johnson and you were a no-show until you got going against Jack Driscoll, don't come barking at the media again and saying, hey, Jalen Hurts sucks. Bro, you sucked. You need to cash these checks. There's two dudes in Dallas that have put themselves in immense pressure. Dude, Dak Prescott has to win this game. He has to beat the Eagles. Jalen doesn't. They'll still be the one seed either way. You want to win it because you want to close the shop on this thing. Get ready for the postseason. Okay, you do. But dude, Dak Prescott and Micah Parsons put himself in the bullseye. Dak is in the bullseye because he makes $45 million and he's sucked in the post. Here again. We don't look at Dak Prescott for regular season numbers. Last year, the Cowboys were the number one team offensively in the NFL. They got bounced in the opening round. People are dumping all over Dak. Why? Postseason play. Well, when your boy graduates, Jalen Hurts, out of the postseason or into the postseason conversation, let me know. You guys are throwing 12-1 up and look at his numbers all year. Congratulations to you. Keep doing it. No one looks at him as a postseason guy yet. It's incomplete. It's incomplete. I saw Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes last year put on one of the greatest performances in postseason play. And both those guys are 24. Those guys are your faces of the league. Hey, Brian, your regular season stuff is great. Wake me up in the postseason when your boy does something. Let me know. Let me know. There's a difference in how you – watch this. Nobody cares what Patrick Mahomes – they care what Mahomes is going to put up this year because of what he's done in the postseason. What is it, 4 now straight AFC championship games? Guys won a Super Bowl MVP, regular season MVP. He's 26 years old. They gauge him now on postseason play, not the regular season. Joe Burrow now is graduated because he won an AFC championship. There's graduation. You're going to get to turn the little thing on your hat. Jalen's still waiting to get his name called when it comes to graduating. Because you know why? You guys do this. 12-1. Look at the numbers. He's leading the NFL in quarterback. Who cares? Who cares? Postseason, baby. How you done? How you done? Oh, okay. Well, look at Spike. Excuse me. Allen's 26. Excuse me. He's not 25 or 24. He's 26. Jalen's better than Burrow. See, look at Drew. So Drew would pay Jalen Hurts $50 million over Joe Burrow. I can't even. It's quite funny. 12-1, baby. Hey, that regular season record is great. Great team record, man. Guys are killing it. Dak makes worse mistakes than rookies. Hey, Vlad, let me ask you this, Vlad. You think Jerry Jones wants a return on investment with that contract he gave Dak Prescott? You think the Raiders want to get a return on investment with that money they gave Derek Carr? Drew, Burrow's ACL is like Tua's physique. The only thing, Drew, my boy who's the gunslinger in Cincy, he sits back there and picks teams apart. He's not dual threat. So that doesn't really bug me. If my dual threat guy, like Kyler Murray, blew out his ACL, I'd have a problem with that. Because without him running around, Kyler Murray's not a $46 million player. He wasn't a $46 million player prior to the injury. But you paid him. Market value, dual threat. Dual threat. God, I love that. Unbelievable. By the way, dear God, please let Jalen stay healthy. Please. This is, are you kidding me? Shit. Gardner Minshew. Hey, then again, Chris Simms says your team would be the same like the Niners if Gardner Minshew was your quarterback. You'd still be a playoff team. I agree with that. Do I think you'd be 12-1? No. But do I think you'd be a playoff team like the Niners? So wait a minute. If you lose Jalen Hurts, you guys wouldn't be like the Niners? You wouldn't? You'd be what? Like the Vikings? The Cowboys? Cooper Rush? Right? Shit, if the Chiefs lose Patrick Mahomes, they'll be in the top 5 picks of the draft in 2023. I agree. I think Gardner Minshew could carry this team with all the tools they have to the playoffs. I do. Do I think they'd win a Super Bowl? No. Then again, no. I don't. Could they make the Super Bowl? I don't know, Nick Foles. Let's ask him. Dude, do I have Nick Foles' number? I think I do. Once the regular season's over, I think I gotta. I know how to get it, though. You know who I'll get it from? I'll get it from Frank. If I don't. Let me see. I gotta have Nick Foles' number. Oh, I have it. We got to get Nicky on after the season. Little Nicky Foles. Little Nicky Foles is like Brock Purdy. Dak says Minshew would go to the NFC Championship game. I think Sileo set up the interview between Parsons and Nice one, Fly. I like your thinking. Very good, Fly, because that's right down to Sileo alley. Starting a Donnybrook, I've been known to incite a riot before. As Sports Illustrated, they said the next best thing to the Boz. He could both talk you and pound you. I've posted it before on my Twitter page. Rick Riley said it. The next best thing to the Boz. He said -1 for quotability. No, +1 for quotability. -2 for inciting a riot. Hey, Xander, that's kind of like Big Silz inciting a riot. How you doing? Dual threat, legal. Sign them guys, man, not me. Signing Michael Vick, great success in the NFL. Silz, he was one of the most electric guys in the league. I know. What'd he win? Nothing. Oh, okay. Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, man. Eagles top 5 prospects with that pick of the Saints. Plus, because you guys think they're winning the Super Bowl, the 32nd pick. There's 5 dudes that I'm looking at that the Eagles might want to identify. Also, projections on who I think is going to make it to the NFC postseason. Silz, would you pick Dak or Stafford? I'd probably go. I like Dak more than Stafford, but I like both guys. Man, that's a good one, Jess. I think Dak's more successful. He's more successful. Silz, he just won a Super Bowl. I know, but he has an under 500 record. He's a Hall of Fame guy. No, he's not. He's a Hall of Fame guy. Probably Dak. Probably Dak. Okay? Probably Dak. Let's see here. What other franchise other than the Chargers wait 7 years to get to the second round of the playoffs? Dallas and 215. Dude, I think the Dak Prescott deal, I you know what I kept saying? Don't sign the guy. Don't sign the guy. Well, it's market value, Dan. Don't sign the guy. Dan, you're a racist for not supporting it. Don't sign the guy. Go back on my Twitter feed. Don't sign the guy. Yet you're just being Don't sign the guy. And 3 years later, we're still waiting for a win. You think Jerry Jones has got his return of $45 million? These contracts never pan out. None of them. Now, we'll see if Allen does. He's on schedule. We'll see what happens in the postseason. We'll see what happens in the postseason. And Jalen, keep going in the regular season with all your great numbers. See, there's a group of guys that are evaluated on the postseason, and then there's dudes over here that are evaluated on the regular season. And Jalen's in the regular season still. All of you say it every day here. Every day. Barely any of you bring up postseason anything. You know why? Because we're still talking potential. He's done everything this year. He sure has improved. He sure is a good player. He sure is a great team leader. I'm not denying any of that. Wake me up when he does something in the postseason. Wake me up. Wake me up. Week 15 of the NFL, too. Niners are playing the best ball of any team in the NFC over the last month. I'll explain that. Please hit the like button. Hour number 2. Don't forget Dave Wannstedt, part of the Bears broadcast team, former Chicago Bear head coach himself, will join us in hour number 3 at 5:30.